In this video, I want to go over a couple of tips of checkmating with the queen when your opponent has a minor. Even though this is not that difficult to do, these type of position usually end up when you are in time pressure and not having that much time on your clock. A lot of times you end up blundering. I've been a coach for over a decade now. I've seen a lot of interesting moves, people giving their queen and the opponent not wanting to take it and running away from it, or a lot of weird stuff. So I think it's good to know these tips, because when you're in time pressure, you don't have the opportunity to consider all the options, and a lot of times you're going to end up blundering. So a lot of times what can happen here, I guess the worst case scenario is, checking the king moving over, then bringing your king closer to him and him checking your king. And now you're going to have to move the king over and he's going to win the queen. And this game would be drawn. If he had an extra pawn, he could actually win this game. Even though you might not make this move, when you have only like 3-5 seconds on your clock, you're gonna have to move right away, and this type of blunders can happen. So I want to actually show you that you could actually checkmate his king by stepping just on dark squares. Doing that, you're not gonna have to worry about his white bishop skewering you or winning your queen. Just because he has a white bishop, and being on dark squares, obviously that's not going to be possible. Okay, so I'm going to play this position now against the computer, and I want to show you that you could actually win this game just stepping on dark squares. So let's start with the check, and then I want to advance. Each time the king moves away, you want to try to limit him and not to have that much access on the board. So right here, I'm going to move the queen to f6, limiting him to the upper 2 ranks of the board. All right, and then I'm going to move my king closer. You can see again I'm stepping on dark squares. Check, having support from the king, and now he moves back. I'm going to limit him now to the last rank of the board, so I'm going to move the queen to c7, and then I'm going to bring my king closer. Again, I'm stepping just on dark squares. King to e7 check. Let me move my king closer. Check again. Let's limit him to the last file, and then bring the king closer, and now he has no way to stop. There was checkmate here, so he's trying to block it with the bishop. We take the bishop and checkmate. So you could see I was able to win this position just stepping on dark squares, and this doesn't mean that if you have a queen and he has a white bishop, you should only step on dark squares. Obviously, if you have a little bit of time on your clock, you could step on white squares as well. Just be very careful. However, if you just have a couple of seconds left on your clock, I would just recommend stepping on dark squares, because you could actually checkmate him, and then you won't ever have to worry about him skewering you. All right, thank you for watching, and hopefully this helps. If you liked my video, please subscribe, and don't forget to check out my new website, masteryourchess.com, where you can learn, practice, test, and master your chess knowledge.